Hey Ammar, this is Sean. Looking at your 3 balls bouncing. I put some notes on the assignment, so I wanted to make a video for you explaining how to clean this up. Here's your reference. I'll just show this once because this reference works pretty well. All 3 balls have different bouncing properties. They're all moving around. It's not too long video. Good stuff. I can tell that you are using your reference. It looks like you're more or less trying to make it happen. So I'll go through a few quick things to help clean this scene up. I would start by looking at your curve here, making sure you got V's on the ground. So we'll just go bam. And you want to make sure the up and down curves are nice and smooth. As you can see here, it's a little bit uneven. So I'm just gonna, I might delete some keys, try and clean it up, I'm not changing your timing yet, I'm just fixing the V's. And you want to make all of these nice and consistent. This one too. Just want to make sure it's all pretty smooth, clean arcs. This start keyframe, you want this to be moving up because it's sort of, actually, it would be curved because you're grabbing it and you're lifting it up and then it's falling. So that would be correct. So a lot of times it's easier when you're cleaning curves to just delete some keys to get some nice clean curves. I'll just do this to all the balls really fast because it really helps a lot in trying to figure out what's happening in your scenes. I'm just shift selecting all of them, splitting them, doing the V. I'm sure you'll try and follow along and do the same thing. Try and make the arc in the middle. It's always going to be in the middle. You might be checking your reference for stuff and comparing it, but if you end up with curves that are strange like that, it literally is impossible for balls to not follow these arcs unless something gets in the way, unless it's not aerodynamic. But because of the laws of physics, these things are true all the time. Okay, one more. Almost there. Just doing this pass here is going to make your scene a lot easier to tell what's happening. Then we'll go and fix a few other bugs. This one's close. The arcs are actually pretty close, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to try and make it more even. And then V the bottoms. Okay, getting there. Okay, I'm just kind of looking at it, trying to make the curves clean. Okay, so now I'm going to push play, and then we'll see what we should do next. Yeah, you can see how just by doing that, it starts to feel like balls are bouncing right away. The next thing that stands out to me is the direction change on the ball, and it's not that it does change direction in your reference, but I think it's it goes fast and then slow. And so it's kind of a smooth direction change. It throws mostly straight, and then the bounce sends it over. I think there's like a roll in your throw. But so this ball here, it actually looks like it's changing direction before it hits the ground, because it hits the ground here, but you're already changing direction. So I'm going to grab the bounce curve and the direction change curve, and I'm going to not let the ball change direction. So it will move because you're throwing it. Oh, okay, let's see. And then it changes direction. Is this the right curve? No, that's the forward curve. This would make it forward, and then I'm just going to leave this one kind of it goes forward and then kind of settles on a curve. So I had the wrong curve. So let's try X. I check with what curve it is by just grabbing it and then wiggling it. I can tell it's moving side to side. So I'll do the same thing. So we'll have it be pretty much the same. It gets tossed, it's pretty much the same, and then it moves this direction. I actually think it looks like it tosses and it moves over, and then it speeds up when it moves. So I'm going to set it more like delete these in the middle, make the curve easier. There's a direction change right there. And then I'm going to make this all nice and smooth. I'm going to make this smooth. So it does have a clear direction change, but it's going to be way cleaner and a lot more like your reference, I think. Still pretty extreme. I think your video framing versus your balls position is a little bit confusing, but I'm just going to reduce how much it moves until it starts to feel kind of calm, more like your reference. I'm going to frame this timeline so it loops a little bit more often. Oh, I see. It's more like this. And it's crazy how much it feels like it's moving right there. Interesting. Trying to get it to be more subtle. Yeah, I can see how this gets kind of tricky. That's definitely getting tricky to try and get it to move right. The basketball is the same problem. So we know we have nice, clean vertical, which is translate Y, but the X and the Z should be really quite smooth. So I will go into each of these curves, and this is forward, right? Z is forward. This ball's probably not gonna do all that. Let's see what the reference is doing. It might be moving in the reference. No, it just, the basketball is just kind of bouncing off screen, actually. So yeah, that basketball is going to move in a really linear way. So it's probably not going to have any of these keys at all and just kind of cruise on off screen as it's rolling. And that's going to be, and then X will be the same kind of curve. Do the same thing. It's just going to bounce off screen. So that should help that a lot too. And then I don't think it goes that far over on the X. There we go. I'm gonna, the Z stops, yeah, it stops. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's check out your last ball. It's a little bit more even. You can see it's like, it has this forward momentum and then sort of stops right here. Let's see what your reference is doing. I think that one's gonna keep going too. Come on, come on. Okay. It's this guy here. Yeah, it just keeps going off screen. It does kind of like change direction a little bit, but it doesn't really stop right there, I don't think. Grab you. We're good on the Y. Check. I'm just going to get rid of all that stuff and then just let it do its thing. A lot of times you'll set nice clean curves, and then as you're working, the keys will get all messy because you're moving stuff around. So yeah, we're getting pretty solid. I think if you got your work to this point, I'd be pretty happy with it. It feels like it could be kind of noodled with a little bit and controlled more, but I think more or less this is feeling pretty good. And then from there you can kind of just adjust things and tweak stuff and just try and get to a point and trying to feel it out and feel what feels right. Got some crying in the background. You're welcome. Oh, here she comes. Okay, well, that's the end of my video. Alright, Ammar, hopefully this is helpful for you. Wasn't too bad. You had like the structure in place. I think the timing was about right. You just want to work on those curves, start getting it to feel better. Alright, I'll see you later, dude.